Hi, today I'd like to share with you how to use Google Forms to create a escape room. You saw this demonstrated in the short session that we had online, and I'd like to create this tutorial to help any teachers who want to replicate the same idea in their classrooms. In addition, the escape room that I demonstrated in the short session is available on Darka Connect, and I shared that link with you in the session. So let's get right to it. Um, Basically, what you're going to do is you are going to create a new form. So if you're familiar with Google Drive, and if not, you should be, um, you just need to go into your drive using your Google password and name. Once you're there, once you're in your drive, you're going to be creating a Google form. Now, before I begin to do this, I do just want to explain what exactly an escape room is. For those of you who have been to a real escape room, you understand the basic concept, which is you are supposedly locked in a room or stuck in a room with your friends or family, or whatever friends you took with you. You're given a certain amount of time, usually an hour, to escape the room. Now, sometimes it's a series of rooms, and sometimes it's just one big room, but the only way you can get out of the room is by using teamwork, being collaborative, sharing information, and building consensus. So these are all skills that we really want to work on and develop, especially now when we're all separate from each other. It's important to keep these skills sharp. And so using an escape room in the classroom, in the virtual classroom, is a great way to do that. Um, in a real escape room, usually you are given clues. You start off with one clue, and as you go through the room, you either have to break codes or do puzzles or group activities until you are able to move either through the rooms from one room to the next or to the end of the room. So I tried to recreate that sort of feeling by using Google Forms, and let's just see how that works. So you're going to go to New, and you are going to go to Google Forms. Once you're in Google Forms, of course, you can entitle the form whatever you want. And then you're going to go to your first question. Now, for the questions, I do like to integrate pictures or videos. In the one that I showed you in the short demonstration, if you remember, there was a video associated with it where you had to watch carefully and then answer the questions. So you might want to do that, but for now, let's just do a simple question, something that maybe reviews the material that the students had or something similar. It doesn't matter what the question is. You can write, what kind of pizza does your group decide to order? And and then they all have to agree on one thing. You must agree on one combination. And this is just an easy question because whatever they write will be correct. It will be a short answer. Now, this is very, very important. The questions, all of the questions must be required. And now here is the key. You go here and you go to response validation. And here we're going to have any sort of answer that they want. So we're not going to be filling in the response validation, but if the question, and now we'll go on to the next question, is the type of question where I want them to answer a specific answer, okay? So for example, what color, you know what, let's do it with a picture. So we'll add a picture. And we can add a picture using any of these options. I always like to use the Google image search because it doesn't require you to go in and out of the app. You can just work right here. And let's put a picture of keys just because it has that element of unlocking rooms, and we will find a bunch of keys. And let's go with this one. And so now we have the picture here, and the question is going to be, what kind of car does the suspect drive? And if you look closely here, you can see that it's a Nissan. So let's go for multiple choice and give them several options. And option 1 will be a Mazda. And option 2 will be a Toyota. Option 3 will be a Chevrolet. And option 4 will be the Nissan. And kids who are familiar with car symbols should be able to figure this out. Not everyone is familiar with that. So again, here they're going to have to ask each other, does anybody know? Can anybody see? What might the clues be? Now, the important part, required. And, whoops, where's my, oh, I forgot to put this one as the right one. So we want Nissan to be the correct one. Let's move these around. We'll go to section based on answer. Now, here we have possibilities. If they answer Toyota and it's wrong, we don't want them to continue to the next section. We want them to have to go back. Okay? Same with Chevrolet. We're not going to let them continue to the next section. We're going to only allow them to go back. And same with Mazda. And if they answer Nissan, then they will be allowed to go to the next section. Okay? Now you have to add in an extra section. So that's these little lines here. It looks like an equal sign. Let's actually add a section. So let's add a section. And if they got that one right, they can move to this one. And this section, let's add a short, we can add a film. I don't want this tutorial to be too long, but basically you can add anything you want here. You can add a film, you can add a picture, you can add a text, you can link in to a document that you have on your drive. And if you don't have it on your drive, you can upload it to your drive and link into it here. But for now, let's say that we are reviewing, I don't know, parts of speech, and we want to be able to answer this question. So first of all, we have to title this section, and we'll title it Room 2, okay? And now we're going to add a question. In Room 2, they're going to have to answer what part of speech describes a noun. Okay? Option 1 will be a verb. Option 2 will be a, you know what? I'm going to show you a different type of question. Let's look at a short answer where they actually have to write it in. So we'll give them those instructions. Write your answer in all caps. That's important because when Google Forms reads the answers, any small difference, and this may be something that you encountered in the lesson when you did the escape room, any small difference makes a difference and they'll get it wrong. So we want them to answer verbs. Okay, so what part of speech describes a noun? I mean adjectives. So we're going to require this question, and we are going to a response validation. Now, we want the answer to be text, and it has to contain, meaning it must be exactly this verb. Okay? And if they make a mistake, we can write a custom error text like, oops, try again. So let's just look at what we've done so far. And we can do that by going to preview. What kind of pizza does your group decide to order? Of course, we said this one doesn't matter. It's just a group question. So let's say mushroom, olives, and extra cheese. Okay, it doesn't matter what they write there. You're gonna get it right. What kind of car does a suspect drive? Oh, that looks like a Toyota. Look what happens when I get it wrong. It's not going to let me continue to the next section. If I hit next, it's going to bring me right back here. Okay, so if I hit the right one, which is Nissan, then it will let me go, oops, back. And I made a mistake here. Let's see what that is. Let's see what happened here. I tried to put in a validation, but it doesn't need one. That's what happened. Let's go look at it again. What kind of pizza? Cheese, olives, and onion. That should work no matter what now. And what kind of car? Toyota. Let's see if that works. Oops, it doesn't work. It brings me back to here because I wrote the wrong answer. But if I write the right answer, which is Nissan, then it opens the next room. And that's basically how it works. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't think this tutorial should be any longer than it needs to be. But that's the basic idea. Remember to require every question, give response validation, and then open a new section so that they know that they have completed the first section correctly and go on. In the demonstration that we did, you could see that I added a lot of pictures and I added clues that required numbers. Feel free to replicate that idea. That you can use that in your own work. You can make an escape room for any topic, really. You can make an escape room to review material or to preview material. The one that we did in our session was one that I used in class. Sort of in the middle of our unit on Robert Frost. And I used it both as a review, but also to introduce some new material by Robert Frost and also some background information. They had gotten quite a bit in the beginning, but this was both a review and a preview because I did introduce a line from the poem Nothing Gold Can Stay. And we do intend on reading the book The Outsiders as a class. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And fellow English teachers, I wish you a ton of luck in these trying and challenging times. And here's till the next time we meet. It was great.